Hi, welcome to Bazillions. I'm Matt Griffith, and today we're going to talk about how you hire freelancers. But before we do, I want to show you some of our books that are available on Amazon. If you would like to have free ebook versions of these, you can simply go to community.bazillions.com and sign up for free. You'll find all of these in our resource folder. The three most well-known sites for hiring freelancers are freelancer.com, upwork.com, and fiverr.com. There are many others, but these three are so large that you'll have better luck with a larger base of potential subcontractors. I refer to the contractors, developers, designers, or whatever type of work you're looking for as freelancers so that you don't get confused with freelancer.com. I will always refer to it with the .com, so freelancers are the people and freelancer.com is the site. And don't let the name Fiverr fool you. There's almost nothing that you'll pay for on Fiverr that is $5, although that's how it was when the site first started. It quickly evolved to have higher priced services. Freelancer.com is the largest of these because they bought most of the competition. Many years ago, there was a site called rentacoder.com owned by Ian Ippolito. It was truly my favorite freelancer site, but this was one of the sites freelancer.com acquired, as well as Scriptlance. Come on, Ian, your non-compete has had to have expired by now. It's been 12 years, get back in the game. Your business model was, in my opinion, the absolute best, and I enjoyed our conversations. The first thing you need to know is that these three services act as an escrow agent. This means that you pay the service and they hold on to your money and don't release it until you're satisfied with the freelancer's work. More on this in a minute. The second thing you need to know is that freelancers will try to upsell you, negotiate for more money, and try to nickel and dime you for extras. You need to make your spec document as detailed as you can so that there's no room for something that was in your head but you forgot to add it to the specs, as the freelancer will tell you it is out of scope and you need to pay more for that forgotten feature. If you omitted something, the freelancer can't read your mind, and it makes sense that there would be an extra cost. The common practice is for someone to bid on a project an amount that you think is great, only so that they can start a conversation with you. Then they'll ask you, what's your budget? Kind of like, what's in your pocket? Not all freelancers are like this, but you'll find that many, if not most, are. I find this appalling and deceitful and certainly unethical. But it's common practice, especially on freelancer.com, and freelancer.com does nothing to police this bad practice. These freelancers are often wasting your time when you could be talking to the one that is the perfect fit for your project. Unfortunately, you'll have to suck it up and deal with this until you find the right freelancer for you. The third thing you need to know is that freelancers, more often than not, do not complete projects on time. The problem is that they are typically working on your project and several other projects too. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. As each buyer inquires about their project, the freelancer drops what they're doing and works on that project, making them inefficient. Just know that a good freelancer might be late on your project, but they also may deliver exactly what you want. I always pad extra time in my mind for any project where I'm using a freelancer. And to be honest, even in-house developers are typically late. Unexpected things pop up during development, such as errors, or where you realize you need to get a graphic design from another freelancer. On that note, software developers are rarely designers and designers are rarely developers, so you'll almost always need a separate people to get a polished look. So what happens when you're not happy with the freelancer? If this happens, it's unfortunate, and it will definitely slow your project down, as you'll have to wait for the arbitration process to complete, and you'll have to start all over with another freelancer. You will have to file a complaint, which can lead to self-arbitration on sites like freelancer.com, where they give you and the freelancer several days to work this out yourselves, with the ability to move to arbitration where the site decides who prevails. What was the reason that you weren't happy? Did the freelancer complete the items to your specs, or did he or she leave things out? Or did they not even do anything, or were they late? If any of these are true, you should have no worries about being the one who prevails. If they were late, did you give them more time? If so, and they completed the project to specs, but it just doesn't have a polished look, then it's possible they might prevail. Good detailed specs will almost always protect you. So which site should you use to find your freelancer? Well, that depends. It's easier for me to tell you which sites I use for what type of work. Both freelancer.com and upwork.com can do fixed price or hourly projects. Freelancer.com tends to be better for fixed price projects, whereas upwork.com tends to be better for hourly projects. Fiverr tends to be good for things that can be done quickly. If I'm hiring a logo design, especially if I have an idea of what I want, I can typically get that done for around $25 on Fiverr and have a couple of designs to choose from with some ability for requesting modifications. I have also had web pages designed on Fiverr too, but I also do that on Freelancer. I find Fiverr to be decent for graphic creation. I also dabble with music production and have used Fiverr to help with Logic Pro X or Ableton Live or having sheet music or tablature made from a song. If I want a really nice logo design, but I want a lot to choose from, I can run a logo design contest on freelancer.com for $100 to $150 and get 200 or more designs to choose from, sometimes as many as 500. I can talk with each designer to ask for modifications to tailor one especially to what I like. How logo contests work is that you pay the amount you decide, which can actually be really cheap, say $50 or even less, all the way to a really high amount such as $1,000 or even higher. You have freelancers submitting designs for free in the hopes that you choose their design so that they win the prize money. The higher the prize, the more designers you'll have submitting designs. I find $150 to be a good price to get a lot of designs, but I've also done $25 and $35 contests, and you don't get as many quality designs, but you can still get 200 or 300 designs, but they just tend to be a little more basic. You won't get very many designs from first world countries because $150 or less isn't as valuable to someone where rent is $1,000 or more. Another really popular site for logo contests is 99designs.com, but you'll find that the costs are higher and typically for fewer design submissions. If you run a contest for $1,000 or more, you're very likely to get hundreds of designs, and many will be from designers from the US, Australia, Europe, and so on. But I find that I get great designs no matter what country the freelancer is from. One thing to note is you want to check the design to make sure it's original using Google Images, Bing Images, and 10i, as many unethical designers will submit logos or artwork they have found on Google Images or stock photo sites. And also know that with AI out now, a lot of them will submit AI artwork, and most of the time you can tell that because it'll have words that aren't really words, they're just a bunch of jumbled letters. But in order to look for Google, Bing, and 10i, you can simply drag the image into Google Images, Bing Images, or 10i to see if it finds the image somewhere on the internet. Just because it doesn't find it doesn't mean that they didn't copy it, but it is probably original if it doesn't show up on these sites. Contests don't have to be logos either. They can be any kind of artwork as well as other types of projects. If I'm hiring software, I always use either Freelancer or Upwork. I only hire out fixed price projects with freelancers I've never worked with before. If you hire out an hourly project, the chances of the project going over budget are extremely high. In fact, it's likely to exceed your budget by double or even more. Almost every freelancer on Upwork wants to work on an hourly basis. If you hire someone on Upwork with a fixed price project, each new project you want to do with them will have them asking to do it as an hourly project. I will occasionally work with someone on an hourly basis if I've already done a couple of fixed price projects with them, but most of the time their speed and efficiency seem to slow down. On a side note, both freelancer.com and upwork.com take screen captures of the freelancer's computer randomly throughout the hour, as well as recording keyboard and mouse activity so that you can monitor them. Most freelancers are pretty good about staying on your project while they have the time clock running for your project, but almost everyone will end up having a conversation with another employer via chat or reading email while they're on your dime. If you let them know that you saw this, it will let them know you're actively looking at the screen captures, and they'll tend to be more diligent about only working on your project while the clock is ticking. Lastly, once you've completed a project, you will get to rate the freelancer from 1 to 5 stars and include a comment for all to see. Your freelancer will get to do the same for you so that other freelancers know whether you're a good employer or not. You can't see each other's feedback until both of you have left it for each other, or the time to leave feedback has expired, which is usually a couple of weeks. These platforms are how these people make a living. I encourage you to think carefully before leaving anything less than 5 stars for any of them. Your mother probably told you that if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. I have only left bad feedback on 2 or 3 occasions ever, because the freelancers were so bad that it was my duty to protect other employers such as yourself from making a terrible mistake in selecting them. If the developer is mediocre, I will typically still give them 5 stars, but I might leave in the comment feedback a little about what difficulty I had with them. On rare occasions, I have left a 4-star review, but if they did what I asked for, but just were extremely late and I was extremely frustrated with them, I might just skip giving them a rating and skip leaving feedback as well. I realize that this might seem counterintuitive because I'm not letting other employers know the real deal about them, but I just hate the idea of leaving a nice guy from a poor country bad feedback and hurting his ability to put food on the table for his family just because he wasn't able to complete the project on time. Don't get me wrong, I'll leave terrible feedback on an Amazon product if it sucks, but this is about people, not products. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. Also, I would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification, and it'll let you know when new videos are out. Thanks and have a great day.